Hello, my name is Komati Padmanabhan. I lead the data science, AI, and sensitive data platforms at Monash University. Along with me today are Kiowa Scott Hurley from High Performance Computing team at Monash and Nick Hamilton from the Research Computing Center at University of Queensland. We are here to speak about the National Machine Learning Community of Practice that was launched late last year and give you some updates about the events currently in progress and the past events, and obviously invite you all to collaborate. Before we start, we acknowledge and celebrate the first Australians on whose traditional lands we meet, and we pay our respect to the elders past and present. So today I'll be talking specifically about the background and the COP, the objectives of the community of practice itself, and various activities that are currently happening as part of the community of practice. Nick would be speaking about the training and the community engagement activities, and Kiowa would be speaking about the technology activities, which is more around building ML services and making HPC easier for researchers and administrators. So back in 2019, we did a survey as part of the ARDC discovery activities to understand the challenges in applying machine learning. So the survey was around, we surveyed around 120 participants from different organizations, and also to understand the international best practices. We had interviews with groups like Center for Clinical Science in Boston, University of Michigan, University of Cambridge, and a few others. So one of the key outcomes from that from that survey is the fact that skills and expertise, 35% of the participants indicated, is the key challenge for them to apply machine learning to their research. So as part of, so when they mean skills and expertise, it focuses more around basic awareness around machine learning. How do they, the knowledge about tools and libraries that exist, data pre-processing, how do they use their ML resources efficiently? So these are some of the key challenges that came out. And based on the evidence from the study, the detail of the study and the report can be seen here. So please download it. So based on the evidence, we submitted the platform projects for 2019 as part of ARDC. Which is the environments to accelerate machine learning based discovery. And this is a collaborative project between Monash University, University of Queensland, Q, CIF, NCI, and POSI. So the project focuses on four key things. One is to make sure that the environment for development is easier. So it's about building an interactive and integrated ML development environment. Two is to build knowledge base around using HPC efficiently, which is around benchmarking, parallelization, and similar. Three is to provide targeted training to the researchers based on some of the tools and libraries that has been identified as part of survey. Four is to build a community of practice to encourage exchange of knowledge and collaboration. So the ML COP, ML4AU, is a direct outcome of the objective 4. So what is ML COP? The ML community of practice, which we call as ML4AU, is to bring together people who has been supporting application of ML to research from various aspects. So it's to bring together these people, understand the challenges that they face, and how we can work together to solve some of these challenges. So as you can see, we've identified 4 communities. One is a practitioner community, who are hands-on ML experts who go and help our researchers. 2 is it groups that provide training to our researchers in ML. 3 are the infrastructure providers like HPC. 4 is a user community, which is a researcher community itself. So all the artifacts, all the documents, scripts, everything that has come out of this project has been put together in a portal, ML4AU, which Kiowa would be giving a demo soon at the end of this presentation. So the COP actually functions in 3 different streams of activities. One is a meeting series, which is about bringing these communities together, solving the challenges, which is hands-on work. 2 is the training series, which is bringing together information about all the trainings that's available in ML space and making it available and accessible to everyone as much as possible. 3 is the event series, which is more around bringing showcase events, bringing presentations at conferences like this, and also bringing networking events that hopefully will come up in the future. So as part of the first meeting series, we got all the 4 communities come together and speak about the challenges, which is all summarized here. So from now on, or from forward from that meeting, the focus of the community of practice is to pick each of these challenges, identify, dig in detail about these challenges, and see how we can all collaborate together to solve these challenges to the extent possible. So today I'm going to speak about the practitioner community challenges as a lead of the data science and AI platform here at Monash. It's a practitioner group which kind of faces these challenges around the practitioner as well as the training community. So I'm going to speak a bit of actions that has come out of the community of practice in resolving some of the challenges in practitioner community. And Nick would speak about the training community. Kaiwa is going to speak about HPC and researcher community today. So one of the key challenges in practitioner community is actually getting the right set of people with right set of skill set, both in ML as well as research, who can go and help our researcher, which is very rare to find. It's not easy to find the people. And it is also difficult just because there's no defined career path, which we have all spoken about many times here. So one key challenge is identifying the right set of people. So while some of the group has concentrated number of ML practitioners, the other groups might not have. So the idea is to establish something called as National ML Practitioner Pool, which is more around building a repository or building a catalog of all the practitioners who are currently available supporting ML and research across Australia. One, it could be one of the social forums through which these groups can interact together. But in the future, we can also explore opportunities around how we can leverage this pool beyond one single institution where they belong to, how we can bring cross-institutional access of these pool of resources so that we use this skill set efficiently and also find some build some career path for the staff. With this, I'm going to hand over to Nick to speak about training community. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Kamathi. So there are currently many challenges in machine learning training. Machine learning is currently in high demand, but it's still viewed as a specialized or intermediate skill in the training landscape. This can make it difficult to find trainers, both to develop and to deliver content. And as a trainer, finding other trainers to learn from and collaborate with isn't often straightforward. Towards finding solutions to these problems, we've been collaborating across institutions and sharing training and expertise. As a first part of defining what we needed to do, we did a large survey across institutions of machine learning needs and areas of interests. In terms of areas of interests, we found that image processing, natural language processing, semi-supervised learning were all hot topics that many researchers wanted to get involved with and start applying in their own research. And in terms of the challenges faced, lack of knowledge and unfamiliarity with tools were key challenges. It was clear that there were many people that were very excited about the possibilities of machine learning, but they didn't really know where to get started. And so we aim to try and help them overcome these challenges. Towards this, we developed a shared training workshops program between Monash and UQ and more generally QSIP in the state of Queensland. From this, we had within this, we had a program of machine learning workshops, mostly based around getting started with machine learning and deep learning. So introduction to deep learning and TensorFlow, introduction to machine learning for imaging. So a lot of getting started type workshops, but with a focus on the areas that people were particularly interested that we identified in the survey, such as image processing, natural language processing, and semi-supervised deep learning. And so once we developed this program, we presented it in a excuse me, in a program of some 23 shared training events in 2020 with 840 participants across 28 institutions. And there was huge demand for this, with often 10 times more applicants than places. In terms of sharing expertise, we also ran train the trainer sessions to share our experiences and training materials. And more broadly, all of the new material we developed, we made available in GitHub repositories under open Creative Commons licenses. And if you'd like to look at some of the trainings that we've developed and the program, you could have a look at the ML4AU website. So otherwise, we've been engaging with the community through events such as Hacky Hour and Health Hack. Hacky Hour is a UQ community volunteer-run weekly support session for machine learning, high-performance computing, and data science problems. And the idea is that people who are stuck on these sort of problems, maybe they've got a bug in their code or they don't know how to use the high-performance computing well, they can come and ask an expert, and hopefully we can fix them up and send them on the way. And this has been enormously popular. In 2020, we had some 541 attendees at 42 Hacky Hours. Another event that I ran was Health Hack. This is a community code hacking event to solve problems in health, the health sector and health research. Last year, we had 7 problem owners from university and health sectors and around 70 participants from the university commercial and health sectors. Machine learning is becoming increasingly popular, and we had 2 problems last year, a cryofilter and Auslan in this space. And I'll talk about cryofilter more in a second. Generally found this to be a great place to share skills, and upskilling the participants was a key feature and a great way to create community of practice around machine learning. So the case study I want to briefly talk about is cryofilter, which was brought to us by Gavin Rice, who attended one of our machine learning workshops, and it gave him enough expertise to be able to clearly frame the problem for the solvers, which was to be able to find good imaging for protein 3D structure prediction, because he was interested in solving structures for drug design and so on. And this worked extraordinarily well, and the developers ended up getting a near perfect classifier, and they're writing a paper on it at the moment. And we found this broadly to be a great way to develop community, create new skill networks, and share skills between participants. And now I'll hand over to Kiowa.
My name's Kiowa, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our other engaging research communities work, as well as some of our infrastructure work. So something we've been really focused on is engaging our local communities as well as national communities. And to support this, we actually hold biannual machine learning community meetings here at Monash. These meetings are really valuable. They allow us to really engage with the local community and understand what the challenges are, so we can do work to better support them. So outcomes from these meetings have been understanding difficulties around software on our local HPC massive, and gathering that community interest and feedback on upcoming training, as well as tools and infrastructure that we're developing. Most importantly, these meetings open communication between staff like myself and researchers using the facility, because we want to help. Some of the stuff we like to present at these meetings are our infrastructure updates in particular. So one of the main outcomes of this project is to make HPC more accessible for researchers. So far, we've done quite a lot of work on benchmarking HPC hardware to determine the best fit for machine learning tasks, updating technical documentation on key things like Python and GPUs. I worked on strategies for monitoring non-interactive jobs that are submitted to clusters, providing access to data sets such as ImageNet, and improved interactive HPC access with desktops, Jupyter Lab interface, and VS Code. In fact, we're really focused on allowing interactive access. And one of the things we're doing to support this is working on something called machine learning as a service. This will be a national platform for researchers to access GPU accelerated notebooks. And it's really focused on addressing less experienced communities who maybe don't want to learn HPC because there is a barrier. Addressing training requirements. Training courses need hardware to run on too. This is an environment to do that. As well as addressing postgraduate and graduate education, we want to support the researchers of the future. We've been really working on how we implement this at QCIF on Monash, on ARDC hardware. If you've got ideas and thoughts on this, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you. To finalise this presentation, I'd like to encourage you to join us on the NLP Community Slack channel, and also have a look at the ML4AU.community website. You can subscribe to our mailing list, have a look at our upcoming events in training and community of practice meetings, browse our ML practitioners, and consider contributing to the website yourself. I'd like to say a final thank you to the partners who work with us on this project. Thank you to Kamasi and Nick for presenting. And finally, a thank you to yourself for listening to our presentation today.